We're into day 3 and let's keep it simple. Let's keep life simple. One of the great things that we do is overcomplicate. And when we overcomplicate, we get overwhelmed. When we look at something, we don't understand it, we get overwhelmed, we start to fear it. The primal response in our brain, the fight or flight response, starts to go into either fight mode, which says you can't do it and you get angry, or you go into flight mode and it creates fear. If it creates fear, that leads to procrastination. And the bottom line is we end up doing nothing. So what we want to be able to do is make things simple, because the more simple something is, the more efficient you'll become. The more efficient you'll become, the easier something becomes, the more you'll do it, the better results you'll get, and it'll just be a virtuous circle. So that is what we're after. We're after keeping life as simple as possible to get the results that you want. Now, I'm going to tell you to buckle up, because this session is a ride, okay? Now, the stuff we're going to be doing during these next couple of days, we're going to tie it all together. So what I want to be able to do is just sit back, relax, take notes. Don't think you have to know everything straight away, because you don't. Because over the next couple of days, what we're going to do is we're going to use the habits, behaviors, goal setting to tie all this kind of stuff in. All I want you to do is remember the rules. I want you to show up. I want you to do the work, follow the process, and give a shit about your own results, okay? Remember the commitment code. I want you to win today. That is it. So let's not just put all this stuff together and start thinking, oh, how do I implement it? Well, what am I trying to achieve? Don't worry about that. We'll cover that over the next couple of days. And if you want to decide that, what I talk is a lot of sense and you'd like to inquire more about working with me, then feel free at the end of your assessment, fill in the form, book a call, and we can go from there, okay? Remember that execution is everything. So if you're putting things off, if you're procrastinating and you're not executing, you're not going to achieve your results, okay? And then when you fail, if you decide to quit, then fine. But remember, you got to focus following a failure and quit tomorrow, not today. Let's get on with it, yep? That's the attitude. So the process is simple. You design a plan, yeah? You build the structure and the routines within the plan, and then you work on the behaviors and the habits that are going to get you the result that you want. I already spoke about the other day. If you want to win a game of football, you don't focus on winning the game of football. You focus on the passing, the scoring, the defending. That will win you the game of football, okay? So you work on the behaviors and the habits. So what we do in order to get this going, we reverse engineer the process. So we prioritize working on the little things. Once you've designed your plan and once you've got your structures in place, they will kind of take care of themselves. So we start to prioritize the habits and the behaviors that you need to do on a daily basis. And what we're going to do in this session is we're going to cover some of the basic stuff. And if you stick around to the end, I'm going to give you the blueprint and my daily dozen cheat sheet on some of the simple ways in which I do things. And you're going to have this available to you, or you can message me if you want more of it, okay? And I will gladly send you in the right direction. So this is effectively the Empower Blueprint. Now, if you want to press pause, have a quick look at it. But effectively, there are 4 simple parts to this. You need to eat well, you need to move well, you need to think well, you need to live well. Day 1 and day 2 is very much about thinking well. Day 4 and 5 is also about thinking as well, okay? But the bit in the middle, yeah, is the live well, move well, and eat well, yeah? And I like to think of it as a sandwich. If you think of the 2 bits of bread as the mindset stuff, compressing everything together, bookending everything in, then the meat and veg in between is your nutrition, your exercise, and your lifestyle, okay? So let's first and foremost deal with the live well, because this is the easy bit, and I want you to stay around for the important stuff, which is the nutrition towards the end. Yep. So right, simple parts to this, and it grows and expands, but you've got to keep it simple. First and foremost, you've got to add structure to your day. One of the first things I say to people is plan tomorrow today. If you plan tomorrow before you go to bed with a clear mind that you know what you're doing when you wake up. So when you wake up, you execute. Remember, execution is everything. And then it's a case of, because you've made a contract with yourself effectively, you then just do what you said you were going to do. And if it's on your list of tasks to complete that day, you tick them off. Yeah. And if you're the kind of person that operates well in the morning, you tackle the biggest thing in the morning, and vice versa. And you set yourself, and we'll come on to this later, you set yourself morning and evening routines. So in the morning, you have a default thing you do first thing in the morning, A, B, C. And then in the evening, X, Y, Z, before you go to bed. You bookend the day. Yeah. Simple. It's got structure and routine already in it. And all you do, your life becomes on rails and away you go. Sleep is super important. If you are fatigued, I've been in a position where I've gone days without sleep and I've hallucinated. Your mind plays tricks on you. Your willpower goes down. Your lack of energy through sleep. Sleep is one of the fundamental parts of your health. And if you're not getting enough sleep, I'll get all the sleep I need when I'm dead. Crazy, 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 crazy. And sleep is not just something you have. Yeah, if you are struggling for sleep, you need to work on it. It's like everything else. It's a skill. It's a practice. So you've got to create a sleep sanctuary, a place that is going to induce better sleep. You need to learn to wind down. So before you go to bed, if you're watching TV or if you're on your phone or if you're answering emails just before you go to bed, then you need to wind it down. And on the program, people tell me, oh, I can't sleep. And it's like, right, okay, well, let's create strategies and let's put strategies in place to help you sleep better. Therefore, you'll wake up with more energy, you'll have less fatigue during the day, and will also be able to get what's in your mind out onto paper so you're not kept awake at night. And we do that through journaling and our questions. Yep. And then we create space. Because too often you're running around. You haven't got time. You haven't got time for you. That's what guys tell me all the time. Yeah, but we plan in you time. Right, between this hour, this is on me. I'm going to exercise. I'm going to do whatever. I'm going to play. But this is kids' time, wife time, whatever. Too often you say yes to people and you create a hazard for yourself when it's easier just to say no. Yes, you might be upsetting them. They'll get over it, but you won't get over it if you keep being pulled in all different directions. And then what you do is I call create buffers. So if I have a window of an hour for me to do exercise, then I give myself half an hour in front and half an hour behind. And then if things slip and slide, my work can slip into that buffer without disturbing my hour. And then if it does slip, then I've still got half an hour either the other side of the buffer, so I can still get my hour in. And again, if you want to know more on that, I'll gladly help you with that. However, I've got detailed training on that. And if you want it, let me know. But it's something I go into when I work with people on an individual basis. Right, that's the live well. Nice and simple. With structure, space, and sleep. Now, the move well. The exercise, the activity, the sweating, that kind of thing. Yeah. First and foremost, before we get into the details, pretty much anything works. I've got guys who do couch to 5K because that's what they want to do. That's the level that they're at. So the question is, are you fit for purpose? And you've got to define what your purpose is when it comes to exercise. If it's just being fit and healthy to run around with the kids, then fine. You go on a program that gets you fit and healthy for running around with the kids. If you want to go and, achieve an Ironman or scale a mountain, then you have to adopt a program that's going to get you to that. But you start off at the level required and build it up. So what is it you're looking to achieve? Don't train for a triathlon if you're not going to do a triathlon. It's pointless. You're wasting time. Oh, I'm spending too much time doing exercise. Well, that's because you're running marathons or you're trying to run for a marathon, but you're not actually running a marathon. Yeah, you only need 20, 30 minutes, something like that. Remember, set the bar low and qualify first. If you think of yourself as a high jumper, all you got to do is qualify. The qualifying mark is so high. Yeah, once you've got the qualifying mark, then you can start to go up And when you've gained the confidence and you know you can do things well, then you go for the personal bests. It's like a child. It learns to crawl first, then it learns to walk, then it learns to run. It doesn't try and run. The problem is with most guys, when it comes to a training plan, they try and go running straight away and they wonder why they pull the calf or the hamstring. Again, something I go into, and when I have a one-to-one assessment with somebody, we analyze all this stuff and we produce a suitable training platform and a program with which to be able to build from. Because once you get fitter, once you get healthier, once you get more energy, you get more confidence, you want to do more. So all you have to do is execute the basics. Yeah, do you get your steps in? Do you sweat a couple of times a week? And it only has to be a couple of times a week, but do it well and make it effective. One of the things I do with guys, and here's a top tip for you: if you don't like running and you're past it and your knees are knackered, find a hill, find a steep hill and stride up that steep hill. Walk in pace, stride up it as fast as you can whilst walking. Walk back down. Make sure it takes 2 to 3 times the time it took you to go up on the way back down, and do that 5 or 6 times. Progress that to 10, turn it into a slow jog, and just keep doing that and you'll get fitter. Nice and simple, and it'll take you 20 minutes. Do what you can when you can. This is a classic one. If just because I've got an hour-long run program today and I haven't got an hour in my diary, I don't run at all. And it's like, okay, but you've got 20 minutes. Why don't you go for a 20-minute run and just change your training slightly to adapt? If all I've got is 20 minutes, I'm going to use 20 minutes. If my program says do an hour, I haven't got an hour, I'm still going to get 20 minutes in. That way I've got something done and I feel good about myself. Where if I just chin it off, I don't do anything, I feel lethargic, I feel tired, I feel bad about myself because I've not done what I said I was going to do. And granted, you might not have done exactly what you said you were going to do, but you still achieved something. And it's all about achievement. Success breeds success. Momentum breeds motivation. And aim for progression. Yeah, I'm not saying you have to get better every time you go out. And it might just be this week, I'm going to walk 5 miles 3 times this week. And then next week, I'm going to walk 6 miles 3 times. Doesn't have to be every single session is progression, but as long as you've got progression over the space of a month, 3 months, whatever, and you can feel yourself and see yourself getting fitter, then you are doing better. And if distance is no longer the parameter, then you make time over the parameter. So you do the same distance over a shorter time. And there's loads of ways to progress things. Yep, same with press-ups. You can elevate your feet. You can change your arm stance. You can do whatever, okay? You can change, but keep it nice and simple. And then focus on movement over muscles. So do mobility work. Let's face it, you're over 40, you're not getting any younger. Aches and pains come along. If you're doing more exercise, you're probably going to get more aches and pains. When you're getting fitter, you get more confident and therefore you try more. So prehabilitation, prehab, looking after yourself before you get injured and making yourself more robust and resilient is better than dealing with injuries. Now lift weights. I don't care if it's a sandbag in your back garden. I don't care if it's a rucksack. Whatever it is, lift weights. Yeah, if you've got some weights, if you've got bands, I get guys working with bands. So don't tell me that you haven't got equipment. That's nonsense. Yeah, I get guys working with bands. I've trained in my back garden during the lockdown periods with nothing more than a band and a kettlebell, which you can get off eBay. Yeah, don't tell me that you can't get to a gym. Don't tell me that you haven't got weights. You've got to get your steps in. Yep, got to get your steps in. And if you're after a weightlifting kettlebell program, then come and see me. I've got videos. I can point you in the right direction. Okay? I do happen to be, without blowing my own trumpet, a multiple-time kettlebell world champion. So I know what I'm talking about when it comes to kettlebells and lifting weights. Get your steps in. Nice and simple. Park further away from the car, from the supermarket. Walk upstairs instead of taking the elevator. Whatever it is, get more steps in. Yeah? And it doesn't have to be every day. Some days you might not achieve your goal. I said to some guys, right, 70,000 steps over the week instead of 10,000 a day, because I know you're going to be sat on your ass for 2 to 3 of those days, but you go for a 10-mile walk at the weekend and everything's A-okay. Try not to isolate things into small spaces, try and spread it out over the week, granted, but if that's the way it has to be done for 1 or 2 weeks, that's the way it has to be done. And I've put in there, this includes alcohol. That's a typo. Yeah. So mistakes do happen. Yeah. Mistakes do happen, but we live with that. Okay. Right. Eat. So that's the movement. We're living well. We're moving well. Let's fuel it by eating well. Okay. Now you don't have to go through restriction, guys. Yeah. When you tell yourself that you're going to lose weight, it's not an excuse to feel trapped and restricted and you can't have the things that you want. When people tell me, I need variety, and they're like that, right, okay, what do you normally have? Well, I normally have toast and bread or cereal. Don't tell me you need variety. It's just another excuse. Yeah, it's just another excuse. You don't have to be restricted. You can have your cake and eat it. You just have to apply the principles. You can also have your beer. Yeah, don't feel as though you can't do it. What happens is guys get too restrictive. They close themselves in and then they pop a gasket when they reach a certain breaking point, okay? Don't allow that to happen to you. It's just a recipe for disaster. Now, it's important we get the word diet defined. Now, you might have all different types of connotations, Atkins diet, bloody paleo diet, intermittent fasting, whatever. Whatever works for you. Yeah, that's the best diet. Whatever works for you. And diet just simply means the food you eat. A dog has a diet, a cat has a diet, an elephant has a diet, you have a diet. Yeah, just don't make it burger and chips and pizza diet or convenience food and takeaways with alcohol all the time. Otherwise, you're going to put a couple of stone on. Yeah, simple. So this is the pyramid for food, the nutrition pyramid. And you can look at the bottom. We're not worried about bloody protein. We're not bothered about whether you have 2, 3, 4 meals a day. We're not bothered about which whey protein to eat. The main thing is you consistently stick to it. So if you're telling yourself that you can't consistently stick to something, then that's the biggest problem that you face. And I've had guys who have multiple businesses, work from home, work on the road. I've all sorts of different guys. Yeah, all come in and we've been able to fix that consistency. So if you're telling yourself that consistency is the problem, then you've got to address that because adherence is the bottom line and nothing else will change. You can have the perfect plan, but if you can't stick to it, it is pointless. The next important thing is calories on the scale. So calories count. Yeah, the energy balance equation. If we're consuming the same amount of calories as they are going out, we're maintaining weight. If we're consuming more than goes out, we are gaining weight. And if calories out is greater than the amount we consume, then we are losing weight. And again, I've got a whole series of videos on nutrition, fast fat loss, because we're not bothered about weight. Weight can be bone, water, muscle. We don't want that. We want body fat to disappear. That's what we want. So I've got a fat loss, fast track nutrition program, which is part of my Empowered Man program, which will get people great results. And I'm seeing people lose anything between half a stone and a stone in the first 4 weeks. Busy guys, own vet practices, got their own internet business, all sorts of stuff. So there's no excuse, guys, no excuse. Yeah. First and foremost, calculate your calories. And I'll give you a very simple solution in a minute, okay? Err on the side of caution. You can go and count, just Google calorie counter, or working out calories in Google, and it'll monkey see, monkey do. Again, I help people do this and take away all the pressure of this and just give them a number, okay? Err on the side of caution just in case. So lower it down a little bit, just a little bit, not too much. Don't overdo it. There's problems with that as well. Read labels. So look on the back. Fucking how many calories are in that? Track using MyFitnessPal. Again, I've got a video. If you want it, let me know. I'll help you out. I'll send you my video. Information's out there. It's all on YouTube. But you've got to be honest, And then when you've tracked it, there's no point in tracking it and just shelving it and letting it gather dust because you don't like the look of it, or not tracking it because you don't like the look of it. Get it in there, be honest, review and monitor. And this includes alcohol. You've got to track your calories in alcohol because there's plenty of them. So if you're having 4 pints at night, that matters. That matters. It soon adds up. So nutrition counts at least 70% of your results, so make it a priority. And just as a wild stab at the dark for most men, over 5'5". Yeah, pick 2,000 calories. Most people try and eat far too less, and they wonder why. They have great results for a week or two, and then it stalls. Eat about 150 grams of protein and fill in the rest with carbs and fats. It doesn't matter. Track it honestly and plan and prepare in advance, and make sure you've got stuff in your fridge. Don't open the fridge and go, oh, nothing in. Take away, that's where it goes wrong. Yeah. Number 2 on this, plan and prepare. Yeah, plan and prepare. No getting around it. Yeah, if you think of it, if you don't get paid, you don't get paid if you don't do the work. So just think of it as doing the work. Have something in your fridge. Have something in the freezer. When you're cooking something, make 2 lots of it, put it in a tub, put it in the fridge, wait for it to cool down, you don't want to get food poisoning, yeah, and have it. Take it with you for your lunch. Do some homework, yeah. When you're going, before you go shopping, right, here's 5 meals, these are the ingredients. I've got stuff like that, I can give it to you. Yeah, it's part of the program. And set time to plan. Oh, I didn't plan. Oh, I didn't set any time to do it. Right, planning time is this and this. Instead of watching Netflix or instead of doing something else. There's always time, guys. You've just got to allocate it in the right place. Guys that tell me they don't have time, what's your screen time? What's your screen time on your phone? Look it up. Let me know. Right, so stop searching for the next quick fix and plan and prepare. Use slow cookers. It takes about, I've got a video where it takes me 2.5 minutes to throw everything into a slow cooker, turn it on. 8 hours later, I come home and it's amazing, amazing food. Portion some off, cool it down, put it in the freezer. Buy in for several days. I've started using HelloFresh recently just because it's easy. Love it. It's brilliant. It all comes in separate little sachets. Tupperware is accessible. People go, I don't like using Tupperware. Sometimes you just got to play with the devil if you want the results. Yeah. Execute the basics. There's no getting around it. You've got to eat whole foods and you've got to drink water. There's no getting around it. Spruce it up how you want. You can put bloody lemon juice in water. You can put cordial in water. I don't care. But you've got to drink the stuff. And follow what I call the 80-20 rule. Get it 80% right. 20% doesn't, you can let slip. Don't go mad when you let it slip. And you don't have to be perfect. And this is an example. Yeah, the Success Solution Sketchpad, fancy name of a tracker that I use. And its principles. The principles are down the right-hand side there. I'm not going to go into them in any detail because they're in the blueprint that you can download below this video. And you can see I have a lunch out. Yeah, weekly apple pie and custard around my in-laws. Pizza on Fridays. Sunday roast, again, with probably custard and apple crumble. Yeah, but if I calculate that, I've got it 80% right according to my simple principles. And I've still had pizza, Sunday roast, desserts, lunch out with clients. I can still do those things. I just abide to the principles. You'll notice that one of them is portion control. So you still got to eat the right amount. If you don't like counting calories after a while, fine. Adopt the hand principle. Again, it's in the blueprint. Just keep it nice and simple. It's all there written for you there. Take a screenshot, pause, whatever. And then track and monitor. There's no getting around it. If you are eating 2 to 3 biscuits and you're not tracking it and you're telling yourself you've been good, or you're having a drink and you're not aware of it and you're telling yourself you've been great, but you're not, I can't understand why the weight's not moving. It's not moving because you're not tracking and you're eating shite. Yeah, show me your results, show me your tracking, and I'll show you your results. Your body is a direct reflection of your behaviors. If you're overweight, you're consuming too many calories. That's the way the body works. It doesn't lie. It does not lie. Right, so this fancy little thing here, Daily Dozen. I've spoken about eat, move, think, live. I've broken it down for you. Again, you can have this. Fuel, there's nutrition, fluids, drinking, fiber. You need it to poo, regularly. Stretching, steps, sweat, it's all there. And what you can do is you can tick this stuff off. Have I done this? Yeah, and I've even created a little thing for you here called the Daily Dozen Checklist. If you want to use it, this is stuff I started to use with myself before I adopted apps. I now use online apps for guys who are that way inclined, and it's easy for me to be able to monitor. And you can look at it again, ticks and crosses. It's as simple as that. And then when you get even more advanced, this is the kind of thing that I was looking at. So you can track things, 3 major habits. You can track your nutrition. You can track your daily dozen. You track your goals. You can track your measurements at the start and end of every month. Nice and simple. And I've got training videos on how to use this stuff as well. If people don't use the app and they sign up. And you've got to accept that mistakes will happen. I've made mistakes during this video, but you adapt and overcome. You just move on. It's as simple as that, okay? So, action steps, because there's always action steps for this week, and everything you do should have some form of action steps. Record what you're eating and drinking. Make time for you. Yeah, if you don't make time for you, it ain't going to happen. You can't wish it to happen, and nobody's going to do it for you. So you've got to stop with the excuses, and you've got to make time. And if time's one of your problems, then we need to add some structure in there. And if you're struggling to do that, then you're probably going to get somebody to help you. Yeah, I don't care if it's me, if it's somebody else, go and get somebody to help you. Yeah, preferably me, because hopefully you like what I see because you've made it this far. Keep it simple. If you've got too many things going on, the daily dozen, I would say pick 4 or 5 of those things from the daily dozen. Don't try to do them all. Just do 4 or 5. And then you build those habits and behaviors. And once you've got those nailed, which we'll go into tomorrow, yeah, don't worry about it. We'll go into it tomorrow. Once you've got those nails, you pick something else. Nutrition-wise, use the simple principle blueprint down below, yeah, and just follow it and execute. It's all about balance, guys. Yeah, if you can get that stuff, work on it, pick one thing from your live, move, and eat. Pick one thing for now, just go with it. If it's drink more water, get more steps in, and aim to improve your sleep, so be it. You will make massive, massive strides just on those things. Don't try to do too much all at once. You'll get overwhelmed, leads to fear, procrastination. You do nothing. You end up in the same place that you are now in 3 months' time. Don't forget, questions. There's a lot going on in there, guys. But remember, keep it simple. Sleep. Sleep better. Move more. Eat more whole foods, drink more water. Simple as that. If you struggle with consistency, track it. Be honest. Look to overcome those struggles which we identified yesterday. Yeah. Over the next 2 days, what we're going to do is we are going to look to clear the way. We're going to look at behaviors, habits, routines, tracking, yeah, and formulating a 90-day plan to move you forward. If you like the sound of that, look forward to tomorrow. Have a read of the blueprint. Just assimilate this information. Yeah. And tomorrow we'll throw in a little bit of a fitness assessment as well, just to see where you are at. But assessment below. Click the form. Let's see where you are with your eat, your move, you think, and you live. Let's see where you are with those things, and then we can clearly define which of those areas we're going to start to build habits and behaviors around, okay? Right, speak soon. Cheers now, and don't forget, if you've got any questions, message me. Use the Facebook group. Can't wait to hear from you. Love to understand your thoughts and know them, okay? Right, bit of a long one today. I appreciate that, but we're going to break this down as we go, and this is the meat and salad in between the sandwich. Remember, this is the important stuff. Now that we've got it done, we can start to build it out, okay? Right, look forward to it. See you tomorrow. Speak soon. Cheers now. Bye-bye.